Let's take a look at this first one. This is an extremely important question for all of you to be able to get right. The reason this question is so important is it combines the order of operations with, and is this the right one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It combines the order of operations with the laws of exponents. So the only way to get this right is to be rock solid on all three laws of exponents plus your order of operations. If you can get this right, it's an awesome sign. If you cannot get this right, you need to work this kind of question. It's on every homework. It's been on the do-its lately until you can get it right. So what I need to do here is I need to simplify the top, the numerator, divide it by the denominator. So 2x squared, if I simplify it, is 4x squared. Now, the reason for that is because the 2 applies to everything in the
Would
parentheses.
it be 4x to the third?
No. When you raise a power to a power, you multiply. You do not add. Next up, 3x cubed squared becomes 9x to the 6th. Because 3 squared is 9, x cubed squared is x to the 6th. And then if I simplify that, I get 36x to the 8th over 6x to the 5th. And then what I need to do is divide coefficients, subtract exponents, 6x to the 3rd. Okay? Now, for my edification, how many of you got that right? Just under, more or less half the class. All right. Over the next couple of days, you need to get to the point where you can get that question right, if you did not get it right today. All right, are we clear about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Next up,
That's mine.
find 4 consecutive odd integers. Now, I always like to say to myself, stop,
Look.
and write out your setup for 4 consecutive odd integers. First, consecutive odd integer. Second, consecutive odd integer. Third, consecutive odd integer. Fourth, consecutive odd integer. So the first one will be n or x or whatever you want, and then consecutive odd. How do I go from one odd number to the next odd number? John?
Get
Oh, by 2, good. So if this guy is n plus 2, what's the next one?
N plus 4.
Good, and the next one?
M plus 6.
n plus 6, nice. Okay, so let's keep underlining stuff, such that the sum of twice the first. What's twice the first?
2.
2n, good. The sum means add. The second, what's the second?
N plus 4. Oh, N plus
n plus 2.
N plus 2.
Okay, see, second, first, second, n plus 2. And twice the fourth,
So 2
plus
plus
2 times
2.
n plus 6
So
is
24.
29. Okay? So twice the first plus the second, this is twice the first, this is the second, and this is twice the fourth. That sum is 29. I need to distribute. Generally speaking, once you write out the equation, it's easy. 2n, 3n, 5n plus 14 equals 29.
Wait, where'd you get the 6?
So it'd be 3. Right?
Minus 14, yeah. 5n equals 15, divided by 5, n is 3.
Yeah.
So I get 3, 5, 7, 9. And those are the correct answers. Okay, Nick?
I've done the math, oh, that doesn't add up to the 29.
It doesn't have, only the sum of the twice the first, the second, and twice the fourth. So 6, 11, 18. Add them up, 29.
35,
Okay? Yeah, usually, up until now, every problem we've done has said, find the sum of the 4 consecutive integers, so you just add them up. But this is not. Now we're starting to tweak it and make it more difficult and challenging. All right? If you do exactly what you just said, but following what they say in the equation, that's what you want to make happen, not just the sum of the numbers. Julianne, did you have your hand up?
I kind of answered my own question.
Okay, good. All right, so that's a very good review of what we've been doing the last couple of days. We've spent a lot of time on perimeter. We spent a lot of time on these consecutive integers. Jeffrey, you're going to turn, put your knees under your desk and face forward. Now we have a new kind of question today. Now, the good news is that this new kind of question
I think it's still important.
is very easy, I think, personally. I think it's the easiest type of word problem. For some of you, you may see that it's so easy it gives you a hard time. You know how sometimes things are too simple?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So here's the deal. Let's say that Sean and Governor have some money, and it's in the ratio of 1 to 2. If I just say it's in the ratio of 1 to 2, I don't know if it's $1, $2, $2, $4, $10, $20, 100, 200, or a million, 2 million. I don't know. What I do know is this, boys. Once we say that it is in the ratio, then there's something they share in common that I could have kind of factored out to get down to that simplest form ratio. Does that make sense? Okay. When we do an algebra problem, when we don't know what something is, we always call it a variable, x, n, w, l, whatever. So as I look at this particular question, it says the three angles of a triangle are in the ratio of 1 to 2 to 3. Find the measure of each angle. Since there's something I don't know, namely what that common thing is that I could pull out, reduce to get to the ratio, I'm going to call it x. So my first is 1x, my second is 2x, and my third is 3x. Because it doesn't say that the numbers are 1, 2, and 3. It says the ratio is 1, 2, and 3. So here's your 1, 2, and 3 for the ratio, and the x is the thing they share in common that we don't know yet. Now, it talks about three angles of a triangle. What do you know about the angles of a triangle?
They will never be right angles, and they'll never be opposite.
You can't have two right angles.
Yeah.
They equal 180 degrees.
Very good. I'm very impressed that you're awake. Now, they add up to 180 degrees. So 1x and 2x is 3x, and 3x is 6x. Is 180 divided by 6.
3.
X is 30. So this guy's 30, this guy's 60,
That confuses me.
and that guy's 90.
That's really easy.
I told you, in my opinion, they're very easy. Yes.
This is like math simple.
Yes, this would be a
Like how
typical
everything
method.
is incredibly simple, but you think you're doing it wrong because it's so simple.
Can I tell you something? Listen, this I mean, I'm gonna tell you something that might get me in trouble. Do you promise not to tell your parents?
I promise to never
Everybody
tell.
pinky swear.
It's being recorded.
Pinky swear.
I swear on my life.
I, Nick Elkin of South Ocean Middle
Yeah,
School,
yeah.
hereby swear to
Listen.
never tell my parents.
All right, here we go. Listen,
It's on the recording.
It's on the recording.
don't let them know. So listen, here's the deal. I went to college, I paid my own way through college. To do that, I needed a full-time job. I almost never went to class.
Oh, yeah, you told us
I
that.
did tell you, okay. I almost never went to class. And I would teach myself the math. Now, there's a really cool advantage to that, if you're gonna become a teacher, where to learn the math, you had to actually teach yourself the math that you had to learn, because then you kind of remember where you stumbled and what gave you difficulty, and then when you need to show others, you can kind of remember that. Now, hold it. What I want you to understand is this. Through all of those hours on the kitchen table, and I would work until 11, 12, 1 in the morning, and I would come home, and my friends would leave the notes on the kitchen table for me, but they were sleeping.
Great friends.
So, no, they should have been sleeping. They had their own lives to lead.
No, I mean, they're good at.
Yeah, that they left me the notes and everything. Yeah, I made it a point to always live with 1 or 2 math majors. So I would sit down and I would read through the notes. And the secret to understanding was seeing how simple it was. When I believe that when kids try to memorize what to do, it's hard. If you will just work harder to see into it, once you see into it, it's so much easier. So there's this philosophy called the KISS philosophy. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
Probably.
What does KISS philosophy stand for?
It's what Paulina and Anthony do.
Keep it simple, stupid. That's exactly what it stands for. So, keep it simple, stupid. The hardest part of math is seeing its simplicity. The minute you see its simplicity, and I am living proof, you do not need to go to class.
Don't you need attendance?
Now, that's the part I don't want you to tell your parents. When I went to college, there was no attendance.
Oh.
Yes.
So it's kind of redundant. You're working to pay off a bill that you're not even.
Needing.
To me, this is what college is. It's really, really simple. Some of your parents may disagree with this, and there are some people who went to college and look at it as a life experience. I looked at it as a very simple economic transaction. I gave them this amount of dollars. I proved on my tests that I could master the material. They gave me the little piece of paper that I was able to present to the Patrick Medford School District, and they in turn gave me back more money than I gave the school. That to me is all college is about. Show me the money.
Oh,
That's it. If you go to college and have the time of your life and come out and live in your parents' basement and work at McDonald's, it didn't work out. Yeah,
Where'd you get 6 from?
where'd I get 6 from?
Why?
Oh, angles of a triangle, you add them up. So 1x, 2x, and 3x, add them up. Okay, so that's the idea behind the ratio problem. Hey, that's the idea behind the ratio problem. You put it together, you see it, you add it all up. X is that thing that they share in common. So why don't you try number 2?
Oh, okay.
I already did them.
Okay.
I did.
Noah, I hope you understand this problem. Do you know what the references are to?
Oh, I don't.
You don't? I always thought you would understand more than any
Is
person.
it Tom and Jerry?
The reference.
No.
Ellie.
John, what are these references to?
The Bible.
Yeah, not just the Bible, but
The story.
more importantly, the play that comes from the Bible.
The musical.
The musical, that's exactly right. You with me on this now, Ally?
Yes.
It's only guys, I have a question.
Which one?
I have a really important
Stuff in
question.
my head.
Yeah, quickly.
Can I have one of those buys?
No. Okay, so, listen, hey, Ellie, since you, can you tell everybody where this is coming from, this problem?
Okay, so Joseph is the favorite. So there's a Bible story. I don't know if you guys believe in the Bible. But there's also a musical. So there are 12
To be
sons.
clear, I'm referencing the musical, that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's this one guy has 12 sons, and one of them, the youngest, I think, is named Joseph, and he is the absolute favorite. And
Does anybody have a favorite in the family? that the
I'm
parents
not the
say?
favorite.
Okay,
I'm the
Joseph's
only
the
one in the
favorite.
family.
Yeah, keep going.
Joseph is the favorite. So
Hey,
his dad gives him a Technicolor coat, but he doesn't give his brothers anything. And long story short, brothers get mad at him because he's the favorite. They sell him off to Egypt.
they tried to kill him, then they
Yeah.
sell him into slavery.
And
Throw
then
him
he
into
comes to
slavery.
the Pharaoh after a long whole deal. I don't want to explain it right now. And then they come back to him in famine, and then they recognize him, and they're better people. And
And they
it's great.
reconcile for it, right?
There are also some
Forgiveness.
really fun songs, so listen to them.
All right, very good. So every year I do this problem, and I put up the Technicolor coat, and there's only one Joseph in the Technicolor coat you could possibly know of, and almost every kid sits there like, huh?
Is it me?
I get
Meanwhile-
Can we listen to the songs?
Maybe one day I'll do that. But listen, this was a Broadway play that was super famous and won tons of Grammy Awards. So that's what it's kind of about. It's all about. If Miss Delitalia walked in here and looked at this, she'd go, "Oh my God!" She'd get really excited. She would think it's the greatest math problem in the universe. Yes,
Which musical?
Joseph in the Technicolor coat.
Oh, okay.
So if you look it up, Joseph in the Technicolor coat, you'll read all about it. It's very, very good.
Wait,
Okay.
read?
What's that?
Read?
Well, I
Never mind.
Googled the website is what I was talking about. All right, so listen, there are 3 brothers. These 3 brothers are John, Tom, and Joseph, instead of 12 brothers. That would have made the problem too long. So we have Tom.
But why didn't you name Tom and John?
What about Jerry?
John and Tom after actual brothers that were in the play.
I couldn't remember all the brothers' names.
Oh, there's, okay.
Oh,
I only remember some of them. I know there's
That's a fancy
Judah, it's Jacob.
I thought Jacob was the father.
Jacob's the dad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What about Jerry?
All right.
Issachar, Gad.
So what, did you star in this play or something?
What?
Did you, were you
I
in the
listen to
play?
the music a lot. No, I like Broadway plays.
All right, very good.
I listen to
All right, look here, please, thank you. There's John, Tom, and Joseph, and they're in the ratio of 2 to 2 to 3. And you know Joseph's the favorite because he's the one getting the most money. The order here must match the order there. See, John, Tom, Joseph, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. Since they share something in common, what do we call the thing they share in common? And the whole class said?
Ratio!
No, money. Variable.
Variable!
Okay, now, since you are bequeathing money, I don't know if you know what this word means. It basically means when you're broke, you give it to your kids.
Okay.
Okay?
Oh.
So, it's their inheritance. So, The mom bequeaths it to them, so that means if I add up the 3 kids and their parts each, that's how many ends? 7 ends.
17.
And then-
38.
It has to equal 280, 714. Divide both sides by 7, because
I know
that's how
this-
much money there is. Divide by 7.
$40,102.
right.
And
But-
no cents.
Hold it, slow down a sec. I want to make sure we can interpret this. Does this mean that the brothers each receive
No.
$40,102?
No.
No. What is that 40,102? Everybody?
That's a variable.
Yes, it's a thing they share in common represented by n. So then to find out how much each brother has,
Multiply it.
you need to multiply. So this becomes 80, 204, 80, 204, and then 120, 306. And at this point, if you add those 3, you will get the 286.
Mr. Lindquist is smart.
I am. I like it the way my son Jimmy said it. I'm smart.
You're smart.
That's how Jimmy used to say it when he was a little kid. I go, Jimmy, how did you know that? He'd go, I'm smart. So when everybody says smart, I always think of it that way.
Smart.
When he comes, everybody's gonna say it too.
All right, yeah.
Jimmy,
Go
your
up to,
best friend.
oh, I have Jimmy's story. Oh,
No, me and Jimmy are best friends.
No, you're
There you
not.
go.
Guy, he hates you, bro.
Hasta la vista, bye con Dios, toodaloo, ta-ta, arrivederci, smile a lot, ciao, arrivederci, adios amigos y amigas, cheerio, garusharos, gadafis.
and Lenny Manga, all together.